I don't know. There's so much going on. I was actually supposed to be in Fort Hood, but then I heard about this, so I came here. And then I don't know, man. There's so much happening.
Yet I still stay here today and say, Governor Abbott, open up Texas! To all my fans on the Sandy Sheen Show, I come on this shout out. Hey, all you guys, my misfits, you guys know who you are, calling my secret squirrels. I've been working close. That's not a joke! Law enforcement officers are sick and tired of the corruption not working me. Hey, misfits, what's going on, fellas? I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for all you law enforcement officers who lost your jobs for speaking up the truth. We will take out Richard Wiles. We will take out the dirty cops. We will make El Paso really one of the safest cities in the country. Have you guys heard El Paso is supposed to be one of the safest cities in the country? It's hogwash. No, Chicago, actually. No, you're worse. No, I'm a whistleblower. The reason why El Paso has been named one of the safest cities in the country.
What you got?
No, that's
731.
Uniform code, uniform crime reports. Anybody know what that is? Uniform crime reports.
Hey, you're from El Paso.
Yep, Sheriff Waz likes to fudge those. I accused him that back in 2006. He's still doing it now. I got one of his detectives, head of CID, who spoke up. He found 300 reports without case numbers. He was fired. We're here today. Not just to fight for you guys in El Paso. We're here to fight for everybody
I definitely
here in Austin.
stand out
We're
wearing a mask.
We're here to stand up for everybody in the United States.
But I don't think I'm gonna take it off, honestly.
It's been a pleasure being here in Austin.
How's it going?
Thank you so much. But before we go, how'd you get so many followers?
So there's a lot of military, I think, or it could be veterans on the parameters. There's a stage in front of the Austin, Texas Capitol.
It's a land of equal opportunity, not equal outcome, and that's what makes America great. Also, just so everybody knows, the live stream that is working is on the Savvy Truth Facebook page and or YouTube, or you could go to the constitutionalrightssummitUSA.com and we'll be streaming it from there as well. Shout out to everybody here with their patriotic gear. And you know what? I gotta say, this is a completely partisan event, but I'm really loving the Trump shirts. I really am. Maybe y'all will like mine. Just a little bit. And shout out to the girl in the front who has Fallon Taylor's rodeo pants. Those are the pants that go with my rodeo outfit. You know, I'm a barrel racer, and this is the outfit that I wear when I barrel race. And I got my Trump 2020 tack, my Trump 2020 bell boots. And if there are any good old boys out there who would like to sponsor possibly the future first female president, my dad's right there. You can talk to him. Because no one wants to be associated with me because the truth is controversial. But anyway. Next up, we have Warren Norad, attorney for Shelley Luther, and he will be talking about contact tracing and the associated lawsuits. So,
thank you very much. Good morning. I'm sorry I'm not near as exciting as my predecessor. I'm an attorney. It's boring, I know. But we do occasionally, I tell people when Leviathan government comes for the last free man, it will be an attorney that the person runs to for help. So we do that from time to time. Okay, and while this is being set up, everybody always asks where Shelley is. Okay, so people who don't know, Shelley Luther was running a salon. She shut down for about a month and a half. Her stylists were running out of money because, as you may or may not know, the PPP money from the government only goes to certain people. If you are making most of your money in tips and cash sales to your clients as a stylist, you didn't get any money. All the contractors didn't get any money, so they were all starving. And they said, "Shelley, please open." She did. She eventually disobeyed an order to close, put out by Judge Moye in 14th District in Dallas Court, and then they put her in jail for contempt. Then we filed
Good.
an application for writ of mandamus, or for habeas corpus, and the Supreme Court agreed with us at least to talk about it and said, looks like you at least have a colorable case. They let her out on May 7th. We briefed that last week. We expect to get a real answer in about 2 months, and she's still facing 5 days. In the meantime, she's kind of rose to prominence because she tapped into a feeling of, hey, why are we shut down? This is not the right way to handle this. So she obviously gathered a lot of support. Now she's running for Senate District 30 to represent parts of North Texas. So there you go.
So, do you generally agree with?
Oh yes, yes. You know,
whatever works.
I came here thinking that, well, whenever I first heard about it, it was supposed to be a constitutional.
Well, let's talk about it. I'll start this and we'll catch up here in a minute, I hope. Contact tracing. What is contact tracing? It is a process by which people track you if you've been sick. And then they say people who've been around you should not be around other people until they are assured that they are not sick. It is not inherently evil. Let me point this out. As in all the things that the governor has asked us to do, many of them could be done legally. Many of them could be done legally. All he's got to do is call a special session of the legislature. As you may or may not know, Article 4, Section 8 of the Texas Constitution actually uses the phrase prevalence of disease threat. I'm not sure how many state constitutions talk about disease threat in their constitution, but ours does. And it says in case of disease threat, the governor can call a special session and deal with these things. I also point out, now I'm involved in about 4 of these lawsuits against the governor. Bars, thank you. We represent a bunch of bars. We represent a couple of nursing homes. We're going to talk about that and those will break your heart. And we have, of course, Shelley Luther's. We've said that the executive orders are all unconstitutional. All of these things could have been done properly. And it's one thing to say we're going to shut down for 2 or 3 days, but it's another thing to say we're going to shut down for months. And people say, well, just sacrifice. You're seeing people that have businesses for months, and they're being put out of business and losing their livelihood. It's not a matter of people versus economy. It's a matter of people versus people. And anybody can get this no matter what you do. So the fact is, it's a virus. We're going to have to deal with it. We have to get through it. Oh, here we go. Okay, I can do that. Okay, so that's contact tracing. I pulled from a very prominent source we're all familiar with, Wikipedia, which is not particularly wrong. So that's what.
Are you talking?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to go live.
It's just a matter of following this. And I've already said this. Let's see if I can do this. Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people.
This is the timeline for. And this is what happened as far as contact tracing in Texas. On March 13th, that's how we all knew there was a big executive order. It said we recognize that there is a disaster. We're going to call it the pandemic. He announced a new contact tracing program April 27th. On May 5th, now they had plenty of time to do competitive bidding on this. Competitive bidding, as you know, is when the government's going to spend a lot of money. It has to send it out to bid, because otherwise we wind up giving it to who? The governor's friends, legislators' friends. So we have a general rule in the state of Texas that if you want to have a contract with a lot of people or with a lot of money, you have to put it out for competitive bidding. Everybody gets to see it. It's public. It's public. If you have a different idea and you're a vendor, you have an opportunity to call somebody and say, hey, you're looking at doing it this way. Is there a better way? That's the way people do things that are sane in a sane environment. May 5th, we send out a request for proposal. The proposal says you're going to hire 5,000 people to do this work. It doesn't say that they're going to be competent to use HIPAA information. That's medical information that belongs to you. It doesn't say that they're going to be involved in any of that. All it does is says you're going to have 5,000 people and they're going to do all this work. And 8 days later, law says 21 days. 8 days later, they issue a $295 million contract to a small company now up in North Texas. And that's how it worked. Isn't it cool? You don't have to, if you're the governor, you just say it's a disaster and I don't have to follow the law and I just do what I want. And so that's what happened. So the Department of State Health sent out a $300 million bid. Here are the unusual things that occurred, and these are just factual statements. There's no, I'm not saying that what happened was evil. I'm not even saying anybody is corrupt here. I'm just saying this is what happened, and we know this. We know the request for proposal is far less detailed than other states have done. I know this because I personally spoke or contacted everybody who bid on this. There are 10 organizations that bid on this. I had the opportunity to. Did you have the bid?
Hey guys, so
No, you did not.
I'm gonna ask some people some questions here. I feel like the speakers are never gonna really finish. Hi.
Real press.
Thanks. So we're gonna do an interview here with one of the folks. See what's going on and stuff. I just got here again. This started at 9 a.m. And it's now 12, a little past 12, and there's still about 200 people out here. This was, I think, a Second Amendment constitutional rights type of rally, and then it turned into a lot of other things. But I'll let other people explain that to you. So, interview? Great.
Hello, my name is Scar. Like the scar on my face. Covered in them. What do you want to know?
What brought you out? What's this event? What's going on?
Originally, I heard that it was going to be a constitutional open pistol carry march. So, I'm an anarchist. I'm all for freedom. 100% across the board, freedom for everybody. And, I'm very pro-gun, Second Amendment, and I would love to see constitutional carry passed.
Yeah.
And then it turned into, they said it was a summit, there was going to be 35 speakers and multiple other protest platforms. So I'm just in it for the ride, and I'm enjoying seeing everybody exercising their rights and their freedom. And it's a breath of fresh air to finally see people that aren't just sitting on the keyboard being warriors. They're actually off the couch and doing something.
Is this like a majority like pro-Trump event, conservative event, or like what's your impression? Because it's not a Trump rally, right?
I have no idea. I see a lot of pro-Trump shirts, but I have no idea if it's pro-Trump or not.
Yeah.
It should constitutional carry mostly.
Yeah.
And I'm just here for the show.
Cool.
Make sure that nobody gets hurt. If anybody needs help, I'm here.
Is there any reason why you brought the gas mask?
The whole mask thing is a joke. It has been a joke from the beginning. I've seen people wear cheesecloth across their face, across the bridge of their nose that says placebo. Just to demonstrate that it's not about, like this man here. He's got a face covering.
Yeah.
It's not about sanitation. It's about control. It's about obedience. And I hate sending my kids to school every day wearing their mask, and in the evenings they're upset. What's wrong? Well, I couldn't talk to my friends because they can't. Their voices are muffled. It's deterring them from socializing with other people, and it's horrible.
It creates a disconnect. And the more of a disconnect you create, the more civil unrest you're going to get. That's the problem. I mean, like, there's a safety. Look, look, you got to be smart about how you do mask wearing. If you're going to go inside the grocery store, wear it for a minute. If you're going to go to a hardware store, wear it for a minute. If you're around a bunch of old people, wear it for like a minute or a second. But if you're wearing that too long and you're around too many people with that mask, it does provide a barrier to communication. And when you provide these barriers to communication, you create more division and you create more civil unrest, and that's not what we need. That's it.
Hey man, could I ask you about your mask? Is it symbolic of anything, or is it just a mask?
It's just a mask, dude. It's a costume. Yeah.
I
think at the end of the day, I'm outside. This is the appropriate mask for being outside, breathing fresh air. When you're around people who are consenting adults that want to be outside and breathe fresh air. But if I'm going in a bar, I'm not wearing this in a bar to order my food. I'm still considerate of other human beings.
Yeah. I like your mask thing.
Hey,
cool.
Dude, I gotta tell you, man, I really love your work, bro.
Thanks.
I love it, man. My name is Alex Stringer.
Nice to meet you.
I have a podcast, and I also think it's really unfair how you've been treated by the people that you're trying to help.
Yeah.
I think that's unfair.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm trying to help everyone.
But the guys on the left, you're really trying to, like, the BLM crowd, how they've been treating me lately, I just think it's unfair. Kind of got me upset when I saw that last video. It just seems undeserved. Like, you're just trying to do your job and be a journalist. You know what I mean? But I started a podcast. You know who Taylor Blunt is?
No.
Taylor Blunt, he's a journalist. He covers some of the protests.
Yeah. No.
Do you know Gary Faustus, right?
Yeah.
So he films my podcast. It's called Convos on the Pedicab, where I talk to different people on my pedicab about what's going on. And if you want to be a guest on my show, man, I would really love it. That'd be awesome. I was there when Gary Foster died and stuff, so we can talk about all of that.
Okay.
And if you want to share, please.
Yeah, I'll give you my phone number. So
I would love that, man. Thank you. And I try to make these very fair and very objective, and they're very back and forth.
Thanks for what you do, Hiram. Thank you.
They're supposed to be. I want these to be as meaningful and non-divisive as possible. So, what's your number, bro? Okay.
Yeah. Send me a text, man. I'm gonna get back to this, but